And as I'm researching their religion and comparing it to the Bible, I'm realizing, oh, this can't be true. This religion cannot be true if what the Bible says is true. But if what the Bible says is true, because there's some things I'm believing that contradict what the Bible is saying. And so I had to do some research on that. How do you trust the Bible? And lo and behold, I stumble upon this thing called Apologetics. I didn't know it at the time. But what really did it for me, what really got me out of these beliefs was a forum, an online forum that I stumbled upon at the time, where an intellectual conversation was happening between a Christian and a New Ager, which I didn't understand that term at the time. What is a New Ager? And kind of bringing it back just a little bit, my impression of Christians after I became a Christian was that they were very close-minded, unintellectual, and judgmental. There was this, no, I don't want to talk about my faith. No, I don't understand what I believe or why I believe it. That doesn't matter. Kind of cynical attitude. And I never liked that. I thought that there was this, I don't want to think about my beliefs kind of attitude that I just couldn't get in line with. And that was part of the reason why I was so attracted to the beliefs that I had grown up. I didn't even realize that that's what I was doing, but that's why I veered away. I pivoted. Oh, okay, you guys, you can't answer my questions about hell, the Bible, all these other religions. What about people who have never heard of Jesus? Christianity 101 questions. And the attitude that was brought to me was, oh, you're making me stumble in my faith. And so I pivoted. And in that pivot, I found alternative answers to these questions that were not biblical. So bringing it back to that, to see a conversation from a Christian that was the opposite of that, it was very nice to see. And again, also kind of filling in these gaps here, I had gone to church. I was going to church, actively involved in a church for over 10 years at this point, believing in these alternative spiritual beliefs, these new thought beliefs. I just didn't know that's what it was called. So that should say a lot about some churches, right? Where there's this idea of speaking to felt needs versus giving good theology. Because I definitely had 10 steps to deal with my stress, how to improve my marriage, children, all these ways to kind of live a better life. And there was Bible verses put in there, of course. And there were some things I learned about Jesus, but I knew better than him. I was more spiritual. I was more spiritually enlightened with these kinds of Christian beliefs. So that's kind of how it was given, is that what I was given was kind of milky, but when I did get some good theology that I didn't like or didn't resonate with me, it's like, oh, he doesn't know any better. So you had pride and then you had biblical illiteracy. I just had nothing going for me. So filling in all of those gaps, I'm watching this forum, I'm reading this forum, and one of the things that the Christian says to the New Ager is, well, first, the New Age is arguing that we're all divine, which is actually something I believed. I believed that Jesus came to show us our powerful human potential, which in essence is sharing divinity. We're co-creators with him, with God. And that struck a chord because I'm watching the New Ager have this conversation, and then the Christian says, wow, you will be like God? Sounds like a slimy serpent to me. And oh, my mind was blown. The rug was pulled out from underneath me, and I realized, that is the serpent's lie. I fell for it. How could I have not known? I was so embarrassed. And it took me a long time to share this with people at church, that I had believed in something like that for so long. But that was definitely my first reaction, was embarrassment. But I repented. I totally backpedaled, researched everything I could about the Bible. Where did this come from? How was the Bible written? Getting all these questions answered by online apologists.